It is only 1 atom thick. It is bendable, can conduct heat and electricity, and is stronger than steel. Often referred to as a miracle material, graphene was invented by researchers at the UK's Manchester University in 2002. But in the years since then, the UK seems to have failed spectacularly to capitalise on its discovery. Instead, competitors in countries such as the US and Asia have filed many more patents for its use in commercial products like computers, mobile phones and aircraft. Of the more than 2,000 graphene-related patents taken out globally, just 100 come from Britain. But the Science Park outside Cambridge tells a rather different story. Here, over the last 40 years, lasers, cutting-edge telecoms and life sciences technologies have been nurtured into profit. Michael Kitson, a senior lecturer at Cambridge University, does not believe that the UK is as bad at turning innovation into sellable products as it might seem.
The argument that the UK is bad at innovation is an exaggeration, or possibly even a myth. The problem here is that we focus on innovation. We tend to focus on a very narrow notion of what innovation is. We focus on research and development, patents, licenses, spin-outs. They are just part of the innovation process. Innovation is far more complex than just looking at those narrow range of aspects.
Dr. Sachin Shender grew up on a farm in India and came to the UK to do a PhD in computational hydraulics. He founded Kisan Hub in 2012. Kisan means farmer in Hindi, and the company has developed cloud-based software that allows farmers to use sophisticated data to make better decisions about their crops, like when to irrigate or when to harvest. The company generates over £11,000 of revenue a month, but does not expect to break even for another 2 to 3 years.
I think UK is quite conservative in terms of funding early stage ventures as opposed to US. Some of the startup companies of our age have raised tens of millions of dollars so far, and very soon we will be competing with them in a global market. So that is a big challenge.
Many startups in the UK will be familiar with the practical obstacles Kisan Hub has experienced. For Hanadi Jabado, who has built businesses in education, online retail and property, and now runs Cambridge's Business Accelerator programme, the problem is also that researchers lack what she calls entrepreneurial DNA.
In the UK, we've got the best research in the world per pound invested. However, commercializing this research, we don't do just as well. And I do not believe that there is a problem with the innovation, but there is a problem with the psychology in the lab. The researchers are very nervous about commercialization. They don't know how to do it.
Weaver Asha Peter Thompson joined forces with Dr. Stan Swallow, an electronics expert, to form Intelligent Textiles, which makes clothing with built-in technology. She says partnering with larger companies has enabled the business to win lucrative contracts with the Canadian, US and UK military.
So one of the problems that we've got as a tiny company is that we're not big enough to maybe cater for some of the procurement that's coming through from people like the American Army and things like that. So very early on we knew that we had to partner with our technology so that we could have a route to manufacture and a route to the markets. So we decided that we would partner with BAE Systems on a project called Broadsword, and it's a way of putting power and data distribution around a garment that enables the soldier to take equipment he wants onto the system. And partnering with BAE Systems has allowed us to pull in a rather substantial amount of funding from the US military.
So what more could politicians do to help companies like Intelligent Textiles?
There's 2 other areas we need to focus on. First of all, development of networks. We need to build knowledge exchange between businesses, universities and hospitals. We've seen initiatives starting in the UK. The catapults are an initiative to build networks in the UK, but they're only a start. We need to develop those networks more fully. The second very important aspect is not just developing ideas, it's diffusing the ideas throughout the economy. It's diffusion that has the biggest impact on growth. It's diffusion that has the biggest impact on productivity.
David Willits was responsible for many of the coalition government's policy measures to support innovation as Minister of State for Universities and Science from 2010 to 2014.
Really, the government should be using its purchasing power to promote new ways of doing things rather than just buying the old ways cheaply. there is clearly a role for government selectively in backing the big general purpose technologies. That's what they do in the US, and that's what we can do in Britain. You have to break through the taboos about so-called picking winners.
Many experts say smarter policy rather than more money is key to making this collaboration more effective.
I do not believe that it is the state's role to hand out money to entrepreneurs, and there's a danger that if the state intervenes too much, it will kill innovation and creativity.
One thing is for sure, a lack of imagination is not the problem. The UK may issue fewer patents than China, but compared to the size of the population, patent applications are far higher. And from the boffins in banks speeding up transactions to the knitters in Surrey creating smart uniforms, it is clearly not inventiveness that is missing in the UK. Sarah Gordon, Financial Times, London.